Welcome to Blonde Cards and Crafts. Let's make something together. Hello crafters, welcome if you're new here, welcome back if you're a subscriber. Today I'm going to make a card and it's a flap panel card style. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a 5x7 card and we're going to use products from the From Lizi February card kit. This is the Watercolour Wonder card kit 2023 and it's a beautiful kit. I'm going to use some pattern papers etc from that, and I'm going to use some stamps as well from my stash. So let's have a look and see what I'm going to be using. First of all, I've got a 5x7 card base. This is a shop bought card base. The card measures 5x7. The envelope is 5¼ by 7¼ Some shop bought cards and envelopes, you'll find the cards are actually smaller and it's the envelope size. So do be aware if you're buying from the shop. You can of course make this yourself. All you need is a piece of 10x7 and score it at 5. And you can always make an envelope then on your envelope punch board. So that's that. Next, I've taken a piece of pattern paper from the kit. Now, I've taken some of the stamps. In the stamp set, we got stamps and dies in the card kit. I've taken some of the hearts of this and I have stamped them with ink from my stash on the pattern paper, and that's given me this fabulous, I just love it. And the inks are new ink colors to me. Lizi has included inks in our kit this month and I love them, and so I have asked Lizi to pop some more into my next kit, which she's done, and I can't wait to share them with you. But these are the VersaCraft inks and they are just lovely to work with. So that's my pattern paper. It measures 4¾ by 6¾ and it's going to sit on the front of our card like so. Now Lizi has got nested circle dies in the website and I love using my set. I have taken this one here and I'm going to use this to die cut an opening on the front of my card. So what I'll do is I'll use my collal glue to glue this panel down. Then I'll take my die and I'm going to die cut an opening from this. And we'll get to that in a minute. What I've also done is I have taken another piece of the pattern paper that came in the kit. Now the pattern paper, it's a low GSM. I think it's about 120 GSM. So what I did was I took my pattern paper and I stuck it down onto some 300 GSM cardstock, and this was just a cut out piece that I had in my stash to use up. This is a piece of the pattern paper. I die cut out an opening on that. It gave me this piece, and then I used the next die down and I die cut out a white piece. I used the stamp just to say, now this stamp is from my stash, and then I took some of my heart stamps from the kit again and stamped around them using the ink that I have in my stash. So that piece is going to sit on here inside our card, but because we'll have a die cut opening, it's going to be inside our card. So what I want to do is I want to organize that I have a little flap. This piece measures 5 by 1½ and I'm going to attach this on here. I'm going to put a score line in this and I'm going to fold it over so that when our front, this will sit through our card, and when we open the front of our card, this will then be on the inside. It's so cool and I'll show you when we get to it. Okay, onto this piece, I've taken one of my fishtail banners and I've popped that out. I have used an emery board to file off all the little tags. I'm going to stick this onto this piece. This is then going to sit over it like so, and then this will have a score line in it and it'll be stuck into our card. So the opening here, this will pop through, and when you open the card, this goes through the card and into the front. So inside I will have this piece of white cardstock. It measures 4 3/4 by 6 3/4. I've stamped on this already. I've taken again a stamp from my stash, sending lots of hugs. This is a card going to a family member who isn't well, and the person isn't going to get well. So I don't want to send a get well card to that person. I just want to send them, you know, a card that says, you know, I'm thinking of you, and that'll all be in my message. But I just like the idea of sending lots of hugs. And again, I have stamped my hearts. I've stuck to 2 colors of ink, and the same here, the 2 colors, and the same on my pattern paper, the 2 colors. So everything works together. I've taken a strip of the pattern paper. This measures 4 3/4 by 3/4 of an inch, and I've put that down here at the bottom. I think it will tie the whole thing in together. And then finally, you can see here, I've some of our wooden pieces. I'm going to put them on the top here. I love the pop of color from these, but I'm not introducing those colors anywhere else in the card. I'm just going to keep them here on these pieces. Now they have a double-sided tape on the back, and they have adhesive on them, so they're a quick thing to stick down. I'm going to take some accent glaze or glossy accents, and I'm going to go over those letters so it gives some shine and a little bit of dimension to them, because the color on these is just a flat color, and I really like the look that that gives. So that's everything that we need to make our card. Let's go ahead now and do some assembly. So I have my piece of white cardstock, and I have scored this at 2 inches. I've then folded it over so the longer piece is on the right hand side. What I want to do is stick that down in here. So I'm going to add a little bit of liquid glue onto the back of this, and I'm going to stick this down here. Now I want to make sure that when I add this piece on top, that it will actually sit nicely. So I've added some of my collal glue on this, and I'm going to put that over the top, and I should have a nice border going the whole way around. And what I want to do is make sure that this piece folds over on that. So that's the great thing about using a piece of liquid glue, and it's just folding over there where our sending lots of hugs is, where our sentiment is. So once I'm happy with where that is sitting on the inside of my card, I can add a little pressure down, and that's why I did this panel. It's to hide this flap, because this flap is going to have our banner piece on here, like so, and then our topper on here, like that. And we'll sit that on nicely. And then where I have these 2 hearts, we'll be able to see them. And I want it so that when I close this over, I'm going to have my die cut opening here, and this topper will sit there. So we'll be able to see our topper through the hole we'll put here. When we open this part, then we'll be able to flip this up, and it'll have our sending lots of hugs. So that's the plan. Okay, so what I want to do next is I want to die cut out my opening using my die. So I have my die, and I know I want to cut my opening so I can see the sending lots of hugs on the other side. What I recommend you do, I didn't, I went the long way round, is take the die and sit it over the sentiment on the inside of the card, the sending hugs. Have it facing up so it'll cut into the front of your card where it's set there now. You want it to cut from the other side, and then put that through your die cutting machine. It'll have your opening exactly where you need it. I'm just kind of guesstimating here where I'm going to put it. I'm using the topper there, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to open the flap so I know that that's across from where I want my die to go. So if you use the sending hugs as your focal point, Have your die facing up so it'll come through the front panel, and then put it through your die cutting machine. It'll work perfectly for you. It's how I should have done it, but I went this way about it. But it still cuts perfectly, and I'm delighted with the result. So now I've put that through my Big Shot Plus, and I have, that's pretty good. I'm pretty darn happy with that. So this piece will sit in here like so. Perfect. And we have our banner piece. So it's going to pop open just like that. So let's go ahead next, and we're going to stick on our banner piece. So I'm going to close the card like so. I know I want my banner piece on there like that. And then I'll have this piece on here like that. So I'm going to use my quick grab glue to glue down my little banner to my little flap. And you can glue it under like that or have it over like that. I have a bit of red liner tape there. And I'm going to use a little bit of the liquid glue as well, just to give me a bit of wiggle room. Lovely. And now I can stick this down. So again, I'm going to use my quick grab glue, and I'm going to put some glue on this piece. And I want to make sure now that this is nicely centered there. So we have a nice even border going the whole way around. That looks about right. So our little fishtail banner pokes out there, you can just see. And then when you open your card, it goes through. Then we have our sending hugs, and then this pops through like that. I love that. Now we have our hello to put on. I was going to put it across the top, but I think I'm going to put it across the bottom, and I think it will read better. It will be just to say hello rather than hello just to say. Do you know what I mean? So that's what I'm going to do next. I'm using my T ruler to make sure my letters go down straight. There's a release paper on the back of those letters, so they'll stick down, but I do use a little bit of my quick grab glue just to ensure that they stay where I want them to. I'm using my accent glaze or glossy accents, depending on what you have in your stash, and I'm going over the hearts as well. A finishing touch I'm going to add to that panel, the Just to Say panel, is on the back. I'll die cut out another circle in the pattern paper, so when the flap is opened, it looks much tidier on the back. So there we are. There is our 5x7, and it's a flap panel card, and I just think this is so cool. We've made our pattern paper. We have die cut out our opening in the front. You could add a frame to that if you wanted. I don't think it needs it. I think it's framed enough by the border around here. We have used our lovely wooden letters, and then when we open our card, we have our hidden greeting inside. I just love that. And then that pops through like so. So there you go. There is our 5x7 flap panel card, and isn't it looking so good there? I love the way we've got our bits of shine on the hearts and our hello. It pops open like so with our hidden message behind, and then you can just pop that through like that, and the banner is sitting on the outside. So if you've enjoyed my make today, I hope that you'll give it a thumbs up. If you're a subscriber, thanks for subscribing. And if not, you might click on the bell icon and ding the subscribe button, so that when I post my next card, which will be card 10, using this February 2023 card kit from From Lizi called Watercolour Wonder, I hope you'll join me for that card. So I'm going to leave it there, folks. If you make this card, please do share it on my Facebook group called Your Cards and Crafts. And don't forget, Lizi has a Facebook group called Love from Lizi as well. And you can share your makes there too. All the links to the products are in the description below, as well as the measurements for the card base and pattern paper, etc. Open up the more down below, expand that, and you'll see all the links, etc., to everything you'll need. So I'm going to leave it there, folks. Until next time with card 10, take care, thanks for watching, and bye for now. Bye bye.